Hi, welcome to Sonic Sunday School. This week we're going to go over a Crestwood Stratocaster. Originally I wasn't going to review this guitar because, well, I bought it on Amazon for like $60. But I've made it my beater guitar, the guitar I play for practice and things like that. And I'm surprisingly impressed with it. Especially considering I paid $60 for it. Is it going to run neck and neck with my American Strats? No. But it's a fraction of the cost. The specs are, supposedly it's an alder body. Can't verify that. Maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, 3 single coils. Standard Strat setup. What has really impressed me are the tuners. This thing stays in tune really well, like surprisingly well. The guitar sounds pretty decent. It's really easy to play. The neck is really nice. I really like the neck on this guitar. It's like your standard C shape. Like I said, the tuners are really good. Now, one caveat. As I said, I bought this on Amazon for $60. It was like $59 something. They normally run around $120, $130, but they often do come up for sale for, $60, $70, something like that. But the caveat is, if you don't know how to set up a guitar, this, at least in my experience with this one, is not the guitar for you. Now, there's no sharp fret ends, there's no dead spots, so that's all good. But the neck had way too much relief. The intonation was way out. So if you aren't confident in your abilities to adjust the truss rod to straighten the neck out, or you don't have the tuner or anything to set intonation, that's just going to be added expense, to take it somewhere and get it set up. So you can do that, and if you only paid $60 for the guitar, I'm not even sure what a setup costs. I do my own, so I've never priced that. But that would be added cost. In this video, I also wanted to discuss, a lot of people, when they're starting out, they're wondering, should I spend more money on the guitar or more money on the amp? And having had so many guitars and amps over the years, I would have to say, especially now, when I started playing guitar, if you even bought a $200 guitar, it was pretty much garbage. Nowadays, you can get, some Squiers, and there's all kinds of guitars out there. Yamaha Pacificas for around $200, and they will serve you very well. Especially the Pacificas. I think they're very nice guitars, especially for the money. But I know that there's some Sterling, it looks like the Silhouette, I can't remember the model name. But they're like $200, and they're pretty good guitars. So I would put more money into buying a decent amp instead of buying, a practice amp that doesn't have reverb and has one sound. Spend a little more, get something that has, that sounds the way you want it, because this is like I said, a really cheap guitar, and run through a rolling cube. Helps if I'm on the neck pickup. So, I mean, the amp will make up for a lot where the pickups lack, especially if you're starting out. I mean, if you're gigging, you'll want a better guitar, just because it'll take the rigors of playing out a little better. I've only had this I haven't even had this a year, so I don't know how well it would take, climate change and all this and that in different environments. However, I have played it a lot in here because I use it for any of my practicing, scales, things like that. So it does get played a lot, which is how I know it stays in tune so well. A lot of my practice is done unplugged. I'm watching TV or something like that as I'm practicing. So, I don't get a lot of play through an amp with this particular guitar. But I have, open up YouTube, pick a song or a backing track and play it along, and it sounds fine. I mean, it isn't as distinctive as like my Godin, or doesn't sound as good, but it was well under $100. So yeah, in the question of putting money into guitar or amp, I would spend a little more on the amp and get a better amp, because you can always find a decent guitar. Now, if you're looking in the used market, that really opens things up. But if we're talking new, your Squires and things like that they're going to be all right. I mean, I know a lot of people look down their nose at some of those guitars, but I have a couple of Squires that I really like, and maybe I like cheap guitars. I don't know, but they play really well. They came intonated. I didn't have to do anything to them. This took a while to set up. So, the Crestwoods, if you know how to set up a guitar, this might be an alright guitar for you. It'll take, a day to get everything the way you want. If you don't know how to do all that kind of work, I would steer clear of it. At least in my experience with this one that showed up. And again, the neck, there's the fretwork is actually really good on this guitar. But the neck had so much relief that, the action was really, really high. Yeah. And once I got everything straightened out, nothing I did played in tune. So, I sat down with a chromatic tuner and a strobe tuner, actually, and set all the intonation. So finally, we get a guitar that's in tune. But it wasn't that way at first. Alright, so I've been having some internet problems. That's why there was no video last week. There was no way for me to upload anything. And I'm hoping to get this one uploaded, because the internet seems to be going in and out. Or it's running so slow that I went to upload a 10-minute video, and it told me it was going to be 4.5 hours to upload it. And it just kept cutting out, because we're having an internet dropout. So it would just stop my upload, after 5 minutes. So we'll see. Things may be spotty over the next couple of weeks until we can get a tech out here and look at something. Every time it rains, we just completely lose internet. So my guess is there's a short somewhere between here and the hub. So somebody will have to track that down. And as it is February, we've had a lot of moisture in the air and some rain here and there. So I haven't had much luck having internet. I've been able to get on and do basic things like maybe hop on like Twitter or Facebook, but haven't even really been able to watch videos on YouTube. I have to start the video, hit pause, and go do something else while it loads, so I can watch it without it pausing every 30 seconds. So I apologize if there are some gaps in the uploads, but yeah, there's not much I can do about that until somebody comes out and gets this fixed. So I just wanted to let you know that, and hopefully I won't have any problems and we'll be able to get videos up. So until next time, take care and keep playing.